Hola! Welcome back to Rena MoMoney Plus videos. I'm your girl, Rena MoMoney, and today we're going to be talking about wholesaling. Is wholesaling dead? Wholesaling is getting banned. Is there going to be any more wholesaling for wholesalers in real estate? We're also going to be talking about the laws you need to know and why the Realtors Association is involved with this wholesaling. Come right in. Okay, let's go over a few of the basics. Real estate agent, or should I say sales associate, is different from an assignment of contract, which is what wholesalers do, and they charge a fee for it. Wholesalers sell their equitable interest in a property. The practice of wholesaling is now mainstream. It has become a very lucrative business. You can make 6 figures, even 7 figures. Most agents argue structuring the deal is the same and they operate without a license, and that's what they're fighting for. They're saying, okay, wholesalers are still doing the same exact thing and they're doing it without a license. So NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, is trying to ban wholesalers, and they've been trying to ban wholesalers for a while. But here's the thing, things NAR are not considering. They're not considering some sellers that need creative solutions. They're not considering the need of a quick sale with cash buyers for some of the sellers' situation. So some need help with moving and don't want to go public. You have hoarders that just don't want the embarrassment and don't want to put their property on the market and have people coming in and out and in and out. You also have homeowners and sellers that don't have the money to fix the property, and it's just not the traditional way of just putting it on the market and having it sold by a realtor. So they may need help with fixing, or they don't want help, or they just totally want out and don't want to go through certain situations. Some are willing to sell at a discount, a deeply discount a lot of times, for just a peace of mind. Wholesale real estate laws exist for one reason and one reason only: to ensure ethical and transparent practices are utilized when wholesaling real estate. Wholesaler real estate rules have been put in place to protect those wholesaling houses, and we are lucky that they exist. I'm extremely lucky, and I'm pretty sure everyone that has decided to make wholesaling their business extremely lucky. Unfortunately, the line has been blurred, it has been tainted. Folk are saying things are illegal. There's been some technical language put in there and a disregard for compliance. So you ask, is real estate wholesaling illegal? Wholesaling is not illegal when done correctly. To sum it all up, countless investors have made a good living by wholesaling houses. Like I said, you can make 6 figures, 7 figures with wholesaling houses while simultaneously abiding by the local laws. However, as in case with every other exit strategy, investors must familiarize themselves with the laws. Florida laws may be different from Oklahoma laws. I do know in Illinois the laws are a little different than Florida laws. Philadelphia has cracked down on it, and they're getting stricter too, and they're still trying to ban wholesaling and coming pretty close to it. So you need to be mindful of your state laws. When all is said and done, there is nothing illegal about selling a contract, or as you're not acting as an unlicensed agent. Instead, you're entering into a contract with the seller, which discloses your intentions to buy an equitable interest in the home and not the home itself. Additionally, wholesalers would need to provide a proof of funds letter, which provides intent to buy. So that's a great way of showing the intent to buy with the proof of funds letter to the seller, and it also discloses. All that being said, some things make wholesaling illegal. In particular, investors can't bring the buyer to the deal first, continue without a transparent contract, or fail to prove intent. As a wholesaler, you are the principal buyer in the transaction, and you are selling your contract to another buyer. It's as simple as that. As long as you abide by the laws outlined in your particular state and mind due diligence, transparency, disclosures, and well-structured contracts are your friend if you are planning to be a wholesaler or planning to continue to wholesale. You have to abide by your state laws. So you ask, do you need a license to wholesale real estate? Wholesaling real estate can get confusing, which begins the question, do you need a license to wholesale or not? The answer is simply no. It is not necessary to be a licensed real estate agent to wholesale this real estate. You need to be the principal buyer or seller in the respectful transaction. However, if you are a licensed real estate agent, you need to disclose as much as possible. Most states require licensed agents to disclose their position as a licensed real estate professional when they're entering into the contract with a buyer or seller. So there's a thin line there. If you are selling a contract, you must disclose that you are not the property's current owner, but rather than you hold the rights to purchase the property. So you have equitable interest in the property. In other words, you will need to let buyers know that you aren't selling the property. Instead, you are selling the rights to purchase the property, which means you're selling your equitable interest, which is, of course, the contract. And that's what you're wholesaling. So you say, so is the day coming up that is going to be banned? Will the day happen where we can no longer assign contracts? Maybe. Always be ready. Always be prepared to adapt and adjust. Before going into some of the laws and some of the best practices, I want to give a shout out. I want to make sure we give a shout out to some of the new subscribers. Brandy M, thank you for coming aboard. Joyce B, I'm giving you a shout out. Jamaica Lou, thank you so much. Chichi S, pretty name. Thank you again for subscribing to Rena MoMoney Plus videos. Tyran Jenkins, T Jenkins, thanks again for subscribing and commenting. Really appreciate you. Continue to watch and make yourself great. If you want to be mentioned on the next Rena MoMoney Plus videos, please subscribe. Subscribe now. Click the little bell you see there so you won't miss none of the good stuff I got for you. Okay, getting back to the lesson, there's going to be a time we need to adapt. To adapt and adjust in real estate is to be in compliance and use the best practices. Number one, position yourself as the principal buyer. You have to position yourself as the principal buyer. To abide by today's wholesaling laws, investor must be a principal participant. In other words, investors intent on wholesaling real estate must act as the principal buyer when striking a deal with the original seller. Additionally, the investor must act as the principal buyer when it comes time to part ways with the property. So to be clear, the investor must always act as a principal buyer. Number two, ensure all agreements are valid. It is important to note that wholesale deals are legitimate real estate deals, despite the difference that separate them from the rehabbing counterparts and all that good stuff. Therefore, investors need to use valid and binding written purchase and sales agreement that will conform the requirements of their local market. And if you need a valid purchase and sales agreement and you need all the documents, if you need the documents for the purchase and sale, if you need the assignment and also that document that's going to protect your deal from getting stolen from you, then look at my link below. I have a description down below that has a link that you can get the 3 documents. I call them the 3 critical documents that's needed when you're doing a wholesale. You will need this to ensure all agreements are valid. Okay, number 3, include the required agreement language. That language is going to be key in what you need inside of your contracts. Wholesaler deals can be confusing for those that have never done them. So I know a lot of times people come on this channel, they are beginners. That's fine, cool. We're going to make you experts. So wholesale deals can be confusing, but it's only confusing if you don't have the proper documents in place, which is why the language exercise in a respective deal is so important. To make a deal as transparent as possible, abiding by the rules and outline, be sure to always include relevant agreement language that's permissible in your state or in your market or where that deal is. So again, look down in the description below and you will see a link where you can get the contract, the assignment of contract, and also the document that protects your deal from being stolen from you or you not getting to the closing table. Okay, the next one is to always include a deposit. I highly recommend including a deposit of at least $200. And when I say including a deposit, you're not giving it to the seller. You're putting that in escrow and it's going to be a part of your contract. So even if you do $100, even if you do $10, you put something on there and make a dollar amount that you're going to take down to escrow. In one of the last videos, I talked about trying to be as close to zero as a deposit. I still mean that. What I really mean is you're not going to give the seller or the homeowner any money up front. Let's be clear. You're not giving them any dollars at all. What you're going to be doing is putting money in escrow. There's going to be some situation where you're going to have to do $500 or $1,000. There's going to be a situation like that. And when that situation comes, you need to take a check or a cashier's check to the title company. Then I would recommend a deposit of at least $100 or $200. Let's say $200 when attempting to acquire a wholesale deal. If it's a deal you're actually purchasing and you and the seller agreed to zero money, they don't need your money, they just want you to close, then you're good. But if you know for a fact your exit strategy is doing a wholesale deal that you're going to turn around and close that with another buyer, an end buyer, the deposit would give you validity. So if you put down and say $100 or $200 or $500, the money simultaneously proves you are a serious buyer and gives you something more important. It's a contractor interest and equitable interest and equitable ownership interest in that property. Here is a nugget for you. Regardless whether the state allows or stops wholesalers, regardless if NAR gets involved in your state and ban wholesaling, there is a technique that you can use to continue wholesaling and to continue your wholesaling business. And that technique is to double close. If you'd like more information on double close, or if you're already in a situation where you need to double close, or you got a contract in hand and your state this just happened, or you're spending all this money starting this wholesale business and now you're hit with, oh my gosh, are we going to be banned? If you're hit with that and you want to learn that technique of double close, or you just need more information, schedule a coaching call with me. Look down in the description below, press on the show more, you'll go down, scroll down, you'll see where you can schedule a one-on-one coaching call with me, Rena MoMoney, and we will go over double close. You can also ask your specific questions. It will be a one-on-one coaching section. You can choose to do 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Subscribe if you haven't already, because again, I mentioned subscribers for that week. I will mention subscribers, so subscribe if you haven't already. Press the like button if I've given you any valuable information that's going to help you out. If I'm saving you some money, or if I'm enlightening you on something that you're trying to get into, or something that you're already into that's definitely going to make you money. So regardless, again, these videos on this channel will be jam-packed with something that's going to save you money, a tip, a tool, or that's going to make you money, where you'll have more money and more money and more money. So continue to watch and always stay to the end. Wholesaling is not dead. It is very much alive and can continue and will continue. You just have to use good practices and always stay in compliance.